Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Jethica. Jethica. It's like Jessica if Mike Tyson said it. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 10. I will be at Wim's Brewery today at 2 p.m. In Atco, New Jersey. So stop on by, have a beer, hang out. We'll talk about the Jersey Devil and probably the Atco Ghost. Anyhow, this is Jessica. I don't know why they call it Jethica. But she's got a problem. She's got a stalker. She runs into an old high school buddy, another girl, who says, oh, I haven't seen you since high school. Why don't you come to my place and hang out? So she does. And then weird things start to happen. And they start seeing this dude outside her place. She doesn't seem to be worried. But it turns out there's a reason they're seeing him. It's because it's his ghost. And Jessica killed her stalker. And she's been driving around with the body, trying to figure out what to do. And now her friend sees the ghost too, I guess. So this is a horror satire, they're calling it. And yeah, you could see he's dead, right? But even in the afterlife, he won't leave Jessica alone. So, I don't know, I guess she's got to bury him. And it's the kind of, it's kind of like that old story, you know, a true friend will help you bury the body kind of thing. So, the ghost is utterly obsessed with her and continues to haunt her. And so it's about, I guess, their relationship as friends and then burying the body. Doesn't really get too much beyond the initial concept in the trailer. And then it shows you that they're burying him. And then here he is continuing to follow them around. It's not a bad concept. A film by Pete O's. Let's see. Written by Callie Hernandez, Ashley Denise Robinson, Andy Faulkner, William Madden, and Pete O's. Wow, it took 5 people to write this? Produced and directed by Pete O's. So it's a low-budget movie. He does the cinematography, too. Doing all the heavy lifting. Sound design guy is Danny Madden, and one of the writers is Will Madden. So I wonder if they're related. And it stars Callie Hernandez, Ashley Denise Robinson, obviously probably the 2 main characters, the 2 main girls who co-wrote it. Andy Faulkner and Will Madden are also in it, so I guess they wrote some of the dialogue too. Maybe some of this was improv. I'm going to guess Andy is probably plays the ghost, and Will Madden probably isn't in the trailer at all because there's only 3 people in the whole trailer. Probably plays some other character that they run into or in flashback or something. Yeah, this is more of a short film concept, I gotta think. It's more of a short film concept that is being extended, but I think it has a good shot at being a decent a decent full length. Now you couldn't go much beyond the the 90-minute mark. This would be a tight 90, I think. Beyond that, I don't, it would be a lot of boring scenes of just them sitting around. But I can see how you could make this work in a 3-act structure. Sure. So first act, you would have the initial meeting. The 2 women meet, chance run into each other, and Jessica's kind of like a bit, I don't know, she's a bit like off her game, but her friend hasn't seen her in a while and says, well, why don't you come to my place? We'll hang out. It'll be like old times. And Jessica's kind of run down, so sure. So they hang out, and at first things kind of lighten up a little, but Jessica's still, kind of guarded with good reason. And eventually she reveals that, well, I have a stalker. That's why I'm so guarded and so freaked out. Oh my God. Well, yes. Please feel free to stay, her friend says. You know, we'll sort things out. Again, just like old times. Then I think for the second act, the beginning of the second act, she eventually reveals that, yeah, I have this body in my car. I don't I eventually killed the stalker, and that's a big revelation. And Jessica's like, oh my God. Or actually, no, it probably is the ghost first, maybe. So she tells her something like, I'm haunted by the stalker who, first she probably tells her that he died. And then, I don't know, I think I see them lighting candles in the trailer at some point. There he is. And so maybe they do a seance. So she could see, her friend could see him too. And then once she could see here are the candles. Once she could see the ghost, then she kind of understands. And then she shows her the body. And that's kind of an escalation. You would have to spread those two, I think, revelations out. So then a lot of the second act is, what are they going to do with the body? Her friend is on board to help her because she totally believes that Jessica, you know, is okay or fine, especially after meeting the ghost, right? Because the ghost is insufferable in this. He's just like, I love Jessica. I want to be with her. I want to have children with her. Like, he's utterly obsessed with her. And so you could see, like, oh, okay. Now you understand why she killed him. Or he died. Maybe he just died in the process of trying to get to her, and she doesn't feel like she can go to the police because she would be the prime suspect. So she's driving cross country to get rid of the body. Second act, towards the end, her friend says maybe she has an ideal place. Well, I'll go with you in the desert and we'll bury the body together. So during that, the ghost sort of escalates. They try to reason with it. It doesn't really work because he wasn't reasonable in life, and as a ghost, ghosts tend to be very unreasonable too. And in the end, in the third act, they bury the body and excise the ghost to a degree. I don't know what the climax in a movie like this would be. It feels like an indie film, so it's not going to have your typical climax. Plus, it's low budget, so it's not going to have a chase or, it's not going to have an ending in which the ghost is, I'm going to kill you, and then they struggle and destroy it. I think it's going to be more like they bury the body, and the ghost is stuck there forever, shouting for Jessica, and they leave, and the ghost is like, Jessica, Jessica. And then the fallout of that is they go on with their lives because it's an indie movie. And I think there's probably a journey for the friend character helping her. Like, maybe she didn't help her when they were friends in school. Maybe something happened, and now she's redeeming herself by helping Jessica this time. And I'm not sure why it's called Jethica. I would guess it's probably something cute like, oh, they called her Jethica in high school because they mispronounced her name, or that was her nickname for some reason because she was goth, or something like that. So I kind of like the premise of the movie. I kind of like the simplicity of it. And, this is the kind of short film you want to, not short film, but low budget film concept that's good. It has few characters. That's key, right? Because, actors at this level probably aren't getting paid, or getting paid very little. And if they're the entire focus of the movie, well, they're perfectly willing to, you know, do this because it'll be their movie. I mean, this is their movie. The three characters in it, it's their movie. They're all over it. The three of them are in probably every single scene, except for the ghost, maybe. Probably not right in the beginning and probably not towards the end. But these two actresses, certainly. It would be worth their time as actresses just to be in it, to have all this screen time. Now, that is if they're good enough actresses to pull it off. They seem to be fine. Because this could really showcase your talent. You know, you could take a movie like this after it's over and out, and you can clip, you know, all the scenes. And there might be a funny moment and a dramatic moment, and, you know, that can show your range. And, you know, you're in different clothes. It's a win-win for the actors. For the producer, writer, director, it's a win-win for him too, because if he has a tight group of dedicated actors, he can actually get the damn thing done. You know, nothing halts a production more than you got a scene and you need 8 people and only 6 of them show up. It's a real thing in low-budget movies because you're either not paying people or you're paying them very little and they just don't care. You know, something comes up and they go, well, I thought this would be fun. It's too much work, and I'm out the door. So it's tough. It's tough to make a low budget flick. And the guy who plays the ghost he's got good energy. He really does. He is really playing it to the hilt. He's funny. So I think it's definitely a good showcase for him. I think he may be the star of this movie. Because these two are going through a rough time, whereas the ghost he's just kind of a maniac. I don't think that's him. Maybe this is a scene years later they dig him up again. And maybe this is the ghost at the end, trapped in a field somewhere where he was buried. And he's just there for all eternity, which is probably more than his character deserves, considering, you know, stalker. I like it. So I would totally watch this film. Definitely give it a chance. Yeah, I don't see any release date on this thing. Here we go. We got some info. When Jessica's stalker surprises her in New Mexico, she must seek help from beyond the grave to get rid of him for good. Maybe the friend is, I don't know, she's into that kind of witchy stuff, and that's why they run into each other. Yeah, I could see this. This is probably going to go on IFC or probably direct to video, VOD, and you could probably rent it. I would totally rent this. You know, it's different. I think this is a smart premise for a low budget film. And you could probably learn a little bit if you're thinking of doing your own small film, and you could do a lot with a little. People don't get it. If you have a good script, if the dialogue in this is solid from beginning to end, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So Jethica, just like Mike Tyson would say. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Hope to see you at Wim's Brewery today, Saturday at 2 p.m. I got to get ready. We'll see you in the next one.